Hello, Gregory Abraham. Who's
Hello.
so today I will have 7 questions for you, and you will answer them, and I will write it down. So,
Okay.
question one is,
Nice
why do
to meet
people
you.
become engineers? Like, what is your take on why people would become an engineer?
Honestly, I think people become engineers so that they can, they can use like technical expertise and like math and science and use that in real world applications, like in building things and helping to, you know, push, the country and the world and people forward, basically.
So you said people become engineers because they can use technical experience, pushing the country, and what else?
Um, I would say they can use technical experience to like and put it into real world applications.
Mm. What makes people want to go to this career, though?
Mm, so they can use math and science to help other people um, and to build things using the principles we learn in school.
That's interesting. What made you want to become an engineer, though?
What made me want to become an engineer? So what made me want to become an engineer was um, I didn't really know what I wanted to do growing up, but I wanted to, I would say, build things. I guess I always knew I kind of wanted to build things and, um, work in with the government and work with defense, which is the career I'm in right now. And so that's kind of where it all started, um, and to
Mm.
help, yeah, to help the country basically.
I like that. It's a good uh goal, or like that's a good thing to do.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Now, for my second question is what are the day-to-day and tasks or responsibilities of this career? Like what do you do on a daily basis for being an engineer of your
Yes.
caliber?
So currently I'm working more construction engineering. So mostly what I do is I build, um, how should I put it? Like I build labs and I build um, high bays and or bays and places where most of it, like I said, the building goes on, like and where a lot of our other engineers work. I build those spaces. So a lot of what I do is building, I should say, labs um, or engineering development facilities. And I build it from a design perspective. So I kind of work and I design the lab or the engineering facility, and then I kind of manage it to completion. So finding construction contractors, funding this, finding funding, um, and then working through the construction, managing the construction and building of this essentially my design.
Okay, uh that's some interesting. I haven't heard that type of engineering.
Hmm.
What is the average? All right, I'm not trying to be like picky or like,
Hmm.
but what do you think like what do you think like an average engineer takes in annually? Like through like their first, fifth, and by like their 10th year. What's like what do
First
they
year,
take in?
in terms of salary,
Yes.
I would say first year is close to, I would say around 63 to 67,000 probably for first year. By year five, close to 100,000, I would say. uh,
First year you said 60 to how much?
60 to 70.
Okay. 6, 7. Okay.
60 to 70. And then by year
5.
5, I would say close to like 100K, 100,000. And then I would say by year 10, probably like 125 to 150, anything in between those, maybe 175. Kind of varies based off what you
All
do.
right, yeah. I see that once it jumps up to that 10th year, it really goes up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also notice that like, but that's not like a grand amount of money in between, like it's kind of difficult when you're like a starting engineer. Looks
Mm-hmm.
like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it depends. Like, I guess LA would be a little bit different. Like, I started working in Utah,
Yeah,
so there it was like in this. I was making about 69, 70,000. But in
that's pretty
LA,
good.
you're looking at maybe 80, maybe closer to 80.
Whew, that's good.
Hmm.
So, what are like the educational or like what are the educational requirements for this career?
Yeah, so you're gonna need an engineering degree. My personal degree was, you get mechanical, electrical, a chemical, civil. My degree was in mechanical engineering, which is more of a broad field in terms of, you can kind of do anything with that. Like chemical, you're learning more about chemical properties and fluids, and aeronautical, you're doing more like aerospace,
Yeah, yeah.
kind of aerodynamics more. And then electrical is, as its name states, electrical, you're working with electrical properties. But in terms of mechanical, you're kind of learning of all that. And then especially mechanical systems and mechanical devices and static and dynamic motion and forces. On an object, and so I took a lot of those applications. I kind of now I work more civil engineering, so more on the civil side, doing construction and design. So a lot of what I learned in my mechanical engineering degree, I've applied in this field. And like I said, it's like mechanical engineering is very broad because right, I did a mechanical engineering degree, but now I would say I do like something more consider what you would consider civil engineering
Hmm.
in an aero in an so I work for an aerospace like company. So like I'm it's kind of using some of the aerospace principles too with some of the stuff I'm working on, or I have to apply aerospace principles to make sure that what we're doing building can meet the standards needed to reach some of these aerospace standards, these government aerospace standards.
That's pretty interesting.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, that's why I reached out to you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so what are the additional benefits that come with your career, like medical coverage, retirement plans, any paid vacations that you might get?
Yes, so I get about, I think when I started, I've been working for the company I'm at for about um, 5 years, 4 to 5 years. And when I started, I got 40 hours of vacation. And the longer you stay at the company, you accrue more time. So every 2 weeks, you can go up from like so I think when I started, I was making 3 hours of vacation time. Now I make closer to five hours of vacation time every 2 weeks. So it started at 40, and then you had 3 hours every 2 weeks. So it goes 40, 43, 46,
Okay,
49.
but what do you think the average engineer gets for vacation time?
Average, I would say, um, price 5 to 7 average.
Like
For
hours like in total?
no overtime because if you use the
Well,
vacation
no,
time, then
I'm talking about like in total, like a year.
Oh, in total a year, like how much they would accrue over a year. So
Yeah.
if you do 52 weeks, 52 divided by 2, that's 26 times you multiply by 5. I would say they probably make around 130 hours of vacation every year. And then, and one of the benefits about my company specifically that I like is I get every other Friday off. So I think that's pretty nice. And then in terms of retirement, yeah, I mean, I put money towards a retirement savings. So um,
Does the
uh,
company help you with that?
yes, they matched a certain percentage of what I put in.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
then in terms of medical, yep, I get medical, medical insurance that I pay for as well through the company, medical insurance, dental insurance, vision. Um, and then, yeah, one of the other benefits of my work is I've gotten the opportunity to travel a lot for work, and I really enjoy that part of the job. And yeah.
It's pretty nice.
hmm
If you had to start over again in the same field, what would you do differently? Like, if there was anything that you had to do differently in your career, what would there be that you would do? Like, I get that you're not like too experienced, like compared to other engineers, but what is something that you would do differently?
So I have a lot of experience on the management side of things. I would have probably taken some time to get a really technical understanding of structural analysis or uh, eh, mechanical forces or mechanical structures. I would say I would have gotten a very, I would have tried to have gotten a very technical understanding of, structural forces and how that affects an object, and yeah, essentially structural analysis, basically.
So you would have tried to get into the more technical side of engineering?
Um, I would have wanted to get a little more experience in that side. Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
maybe not
So,
stayed there, but just had experience in it.
yeah, yeah.
hmm
Okay, so could you explain how you approach problem solving when faced with a new engineering challenge?
Yeah, so what I like to do is I like to write things out or think I try not to get, freaked out or like lose my composure, but I try to kind of just write things out, get as much detail as I always think like you can only make the best decisions. You can only make decisions based off the information you have. So I try to gain as much information I have from as many parties. Definitely, when I'm building or when I'm doing construction or like I'm coming up with the design, I try to bring in as many what you would call SMEs, subject matter experts,
Yeah.
into a meeting, and I try to get as much information from each person. Like, so for example, I would have like a health, environmental health and safety. I would have security. I would bring in security. I would bring in like maybe a design expert, an architectural expert, um, potentially my manager or my director to kind of gain as much knowledge so everybody is in the same. And then also, uh, somebody from the program that needs this or like somebody who's actually going to use my product. And I kind of like try to gain as much information from everybody to basically come up with the best product or come up with the best solution. Because if I leave somebody out or somebody's not a part of the starting phase or the brainstorming phase, then I could really miss a key piece of information. And then what I turn over when I'm finished will end up being like, well, you missed this or you missed that. So I try to get as many people on the same page at the very beginning so that we can kind of um, build something from the start, and we're not at the end missing things.
So what you're saying is pretty much that you like writing things out and you while you're doing all that, you don't want to freak out or lose composure
hmm
and you only make decisions off of the information you have while also bringing in experts from other fields to work on the same task that you're trying to accomplish.
Yep. Because I see it as I definitely don't know everything, so I'm gonna try to bring in as many different people who do know the information I don't have to accumulate, and so we can put out the best product. And at the same time, I would say that is communication. So I would say, like you said, I think you Armand, you summarized it really well. I would say it's write things out, plan it out basically, keep your composure, and then also be a good communicator or communicate your vision.
That's interesting. So, I took in a lot of information there. Thank you for helping me out with my projects. I learned about the hourly wage or like the annual wage of engineers from you and how to set up different task forces from you and really just like the benefits of engineering and what comes with it. So thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Um, I will talk to you later. Thank you for doing this with me, and I appreciate it.
No, of course, and really good talking to you, and I'm glad you learned something, and yeah, I hope everything goes well.
Yep, thank you.